A tēnā koutou katoa, I taku iwi o ngā tikahungu.
Neke atu I te kotahi mano ono rau te puta o te ihu a Pita Sharples, ia John Tamihere.
Nei rā te kōrero a te tūmaki takirua o te ropu toranga pū Māori ara a Pita Sharples.
Tēnei he wā pai kia hau mō o tātou mahi kapa.
Mō ngā tamariki katoa o te motune, e nei kura.
You know, I remember when I first saw you, it was at the opening of this marae.
Wow.
So long ago, and there was all these hangi being laid down.
Yeah,
Just seemed to
big,
be,
eh?
yeah, it was so big.
Was it?
And we were going, oh, look, there's that Pita Sharples. You were a bit of a rock star back then.
That was the only time. After that, it was all downhill.
Not quite true. Pita Sharples was once named sexiest politician of 2007. More importantly, though, Pita established Te Whare Tūtaua, the New Zealand National School of Māori Weaponry, as well as the legendary Te Rōpū Manutaki, which he led, choreographed and composed for over 38 years.
Iau te katoa ngā whakataitai a matatini mai te timatatanga. Nā reira, tēnā poto taku peke I tēni unga. Nā reira, ko au te mea kai muri. Kei te rārangi tua whā.
While he helped pave the way for Māori immersion education, the boy from Waipawa did not grow up around Te Reo.
We never spoke Māori in my home when I was young, and that's partly because my father was a Pākehā. And he did everything Māori that he could. Yet he sent me to Te Aute College. He really wanted me to go there. And
What was the expectation at Te Aute when you were there?
you come out being a leader. That's what you're told. It's kind of obligation. You come out with, you got to do the biz now. And you can't miss out there because they ram Sapirana and the Peter Buck and everybody down your neck every second day.
No pressure, eh?
Yeah, no pressure.
As was expected of him, Peter ended up at Auckland University in the 60s. He studied anthropology, then trained as a teacher at a time when it was all going off.
All Māori were saying we matter, and we are Māori students were quite militant in those times, and we were always marching on some take or other. Yeah, and we were very sensitive and couldn't take criticism about Māori and stuff as a personal level. But I don't know many Māori, if any, Māori students who didn't get involved some way or other in Māori rights. There always was a university Māori club, and it was such a cup of tea group.
Oh, I think I was in it for 5 minutes. Useless though.
Well, you were probably drinking Milo. The Māori club took power and started bossing the other clubs, other organisations in the university, making demands on departments to provide this and that for Māori students. Yeah, so that was an interesting period for me, learning how to be powerful.
His name would become synonymous with haka. Peter was awarded National Male Leader by the Aotearoa Māori Traditional Performing Arts for 5 separate years.
I'm a performing arts freak. I just love our dance form, whether it's the poi, or whether it's the best haka, or whether it's something really traditional, babe from way back. It's all part of who we are, and yeah, I just fell in love with the whole damn lot. You join a club, and then you decide, this sucks, and you make your own club. That's how clubs are born. And so those who believe in you follow you, and then you good people develop within that group, and you hand bits and pieces over, and suddenly they're another club too, and so on. So yeah, that's how it is, and it's about the love of Māori oral dance culture. It is totally real love.
And
Like a few beers and we're up going,
oh yes, I've seen that, my band when we travel.
Yeah, that's right.
Peter's son Paula, an academic and respected performer himself, travelled the world with my band, along with his stepbrother Te Hira Painga, both accomplished members of Te Ropu Manutaki. Peter Sharples, a key figure in the modern revival of Māori weaponry, was mentored by the legendary Colonel Arapeta Awatere, who'd been trained in traditional weaponry from a young age.
I was hooked on his war effort, his ability to lead from prison. You know, he had all sorts of things happening in the prisons right throughout New Zealand. And here he was, a prisoner himself here. And he had people like me running, bringing him a cup of tea every 5 minutes, because we believed in him totally. He was a tough, rough man, but his heart was right there, right in front.
So should we just clarify that you weren't actually incarcerated yourself?
Didn't manage that, no.
Peter saw the skills of his mentor on full display during one occasion when tikanga was breached.
During a wero, she stepped forward to pick up the koha when I wasn't finished being late, and she had it in her hand. And he was going, retreating, and saw back over his shoulder, and he went, and the next thing, the koha had spilt all over the place, and the lady's crying. She didn't get hit, but he took the thing out of her hand. He was a hard man, very hard man. No second chance.
Did you end up going in there and working with
Yes.
men that you thought needed a second chance?
Oh, totally. I believed that was why I was doing it, was to give them pride in being Māori. Really, that was the thing.
Did you see the mindset change from some of these men?
Totally. They used to joke about making a break with their taias, but I knew they were too disciplined now to even do that. But yeah, there's no doubt about the restorative justice side of things and its importance. And it's about empowering people, telling them that you belong in this world, you know. Whether it's with the raka or whether it's being able to speak Māori or whether it's looking good.
In 1977, he became Dr. Peter Sharples after attaining a PhD in anthropology and linguistics.
Anthropology was made for me. Yeah, I'm into feeling part of the beginning of the world. You know, whakapapa and the people before me and stuff. I'm right into that sort of, as a kid, I felt like lucky to be in that line and learning about my place on this earth.
Yeah.
You have a choice, archaeology, stones and bones, or reo. So I took reo. So you do linguistics instead of archaeology and stuff. And thank God I did, you know, because that threw me around the islands, all of them.
What was the main thing you learnt from that?
That I belong to the Pacific. I'm a Pacific person, and they belong to me.
While head of the new Race Relations Office, Peter went up against the Punch a Palm campaign, launched by a popular sports talkback host after All Black Keith Murdoch was sent home from Wales for assaulting a security guard.
The words "pommy bastard" written on a sweater some time ago, 10 years ago, would have caused quite a flurry. And today it doesn't. You see, it's allowed and accepted. Yet I feel sure that the words Māori bastard or Samoan bastard would cause quite a stir. Now, if this thing develops and is associated with a type of behaviour that we're getting reported, like a woman being spat at in the street and being called a dirty pong, and if this develops, then in 10 years' time, it may be the norm to extend this type of behaviour towards another ethnic group, say Samoan, and this could be more explosive.
Was it Māori complaining about Pākehā racism or Pākehās complaining about...
In New Zealand, it's Pākehās complaining.
About?
Māoris. Everything we did, blow our nose in the wrong time or something,
That would have been a fun job then.
Yeah, it made you a bit anti yourself because I'm half Pākehā and gee.
Let's not do the DNA.
I'll say.
In the mid-80s, Peter established the very first kura kaupapa Māori right here at his beloved Hoani Waititi marae. But first, there was Kōhanga Reo, the movement which ignited the imagination of Indigenous peoples right around the world.
It was quite innovative when you think about it.
Oh, it was. Even to affect me like that. I mean, I could have had my own kids and stuff and that, but found myself amongst babies all the time and young kids, and parents are trying to talk Māori. They've never spoken a word in their life, but they've always never thought they could be invited in.
So then when the kids came through, they graduated from Kohanga, then there was a bit of a roadblock there, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
So what happened?
Well, I think we were the first, but we just said, we're not stopping, we're just going to carry on, and then they can stay in there when they're 5 and when they're 6 and when they're 7 until they go to high school or whatever. It was day by day changing. Here, go up a gear, go further. And it wasn't a big, fat plan. It was a, look at the kids, listen to the kids, you know, and got to be carried on. We became fanatics, the people working in Kohanga. Then suddenly we were building kura and being fanatics in there, and because I was so excited.
So exciting.
Oh, it was so exciting.
Hey.
I wish everyone knew how we felt. That's what I feel.
Welcome back. It's 2024, but feels a little bit like 2004. Hobson's Pledge and their mates are lobbying to reverse the Marine and Coastal Area Act passed under John Key. Mind you, their Iwi versus Kiwi campaign back in the day ignited a movement that began on the streets and morphed into a whole new political party. Now, had you ever thought about going into politics?
Never.
Then what made you change your mind?
I just felt the time had come for me to make a stand, I guess.
Peter hit the campaign trail. It wasn't always plain sailing either.
I remember that there was, you got accused of kidnapping someone once. Do you remember that?
The teenager was campaigning for John Tamihere, a Labour MP at the time, and was caught covering Māori Party billboards with Labour Party stickers. It was claimed the boy was then driven around Auckland to remove them. In 2005, Peter took the seat off JT, who would later jump ship to the Māori Party. Sharples was in.
Māori Party! Māori Party! My people!
How comfortable were you going into Parliament? It's a bit of an alien environment.
Really, yeah. I wasn't scared because I sort of had a good following from the people, and I knew the people put me there and I've got to do the job. So that was good. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. I try and honour my commitments.
But the expectations from people, okay, we know you, Papa Peter, you're going inside, you're the fiery one, so we expect this and that. Was there a lot of pressure on you?
I think there's more pressure I put on myself, that I've got to find a way through here, and it's got to be a Māori way. Otherwise, what the heck am I doing here? You know?
Everybody is very strong and articulate. How did you guys work out how to work together?
The easiest way was Tari did her thing, I did mine. The rest were part of our team.
Well, what special power did you have, and then what special power did Tariana have?
I think I had the reo, and race relations background in my favour that equipped me for political battles and stuff like that over the others. Hone had enthusiasm and he had real cultural belief, and he was an angry bastard too. And that was good. That was him. And put that all together and he's on your front line. Dururo was more reasoned about things and philosophical about it. Tariana, I never even tried to work her out. She's different, and we were co-leaders, so we often clashed. But so we really did our own thing.
The visionary Whatarangi Winiata was the founding president of the Māori Party. He had the challenging task of managing internal dynamics and, as Peter said, had to pull on all the tanga.
One day, Tari and I were having a scrap in the caucus, and she was getting really vocal, and I was sort of being cool, you know, like that. And we both looked at our president, Whatarangi. Whatarangi? And he goes, yes. Tariana is showing rangatiratanga. She's leading out and being strong about her project. Peter, he's showing manakitanga, caring and so on, like this. We're looking at each other, so. Then he goes, what we really need here is kotahitanga.
Do you think you'll, you'd be scrapping amongst yourselves more than with the Crown, or what?
No. Our battles were where our egos and our areas of deep feeling clashed. That's all. Tali and I are the same. Just we got our boundaries mixed up every now and again. Yeah, you know, she was a good staunch warrior, man. Seen her tell make men nearly cry.
Did you have a bit of tangi yourself?
Not at her pleasure. Not at her pleasure. Yeah. But no, we really had a good relationship. One that worked. Yeah. Everyone was telling us that she's my problem. And they were telling her that, get away from Peter. You know, you're the strong woman, Maori. And so there was those two camps pushing us apart. But no, we stayed together pretty well. That's good. Because we knew each other had a good record. We worked together when we were building the party. We believed in each other.
What would happen when you'd go with John Key up to Waitangi or something? Was that a little bit awkward?
In your own head, you know where you're going. You have to. You know, I am a member of the government. I am the Minister for Māori Affairs. That is my portfolio. But I'm also Māori and I love pōwhiris and huis and I'm a kahungunu, and I tell myself this before I go into the huis, and no problem. Yeah, it sorts itself out.
So I think the last time I was here was for Titawhai's tangi.
Oh, yeah.
And she took a couple of pot shots at you sometimes.
She always potted me in the early days because I think she wanted me on her side, eh? I really do feel like that was the way. And so she always took pot shots at me in public and stuff like that. But as time went on, we were colleagues working together at the Māori Party, yeah.
Because there was that very tense period when Hone took off and he set up mana. Did you see that coming?
Yeah, I did.
We were watching everyone fighting.
Yes.
The Māori Party and mana, and then, I just thought, well, you can all get stuffed. I'm not voting for any of you.
That's right.
How was that time? It was quite tense, eh?
Yeah, it was awful. It was really awful. But on the other hand, it was of the day. I kind of loved Hone, even though when telling me to take my packet and off, or whatever he was saying. We were really, really close. We got really close because we're doing the same thing but differing over points.
Well, what do you think, look back now and think, yeah, that was worth it?
It didn't matter who we were and stuff. And when Tari made a win, it was our win, you know, and stuff like this. Or when Hone went too far, we had to think of what to do next, kind of. But we were always Māori, always thinking Māori.
You know, every time you put a bill up to us, we put it down here and we say, these are the criteria. Our team has to go through this. Ko tahitanga, does it unite us and does it unite New Zealand? Manaakitanga, is this a caring bill? Will people be hurt by this bill? Every single bill.
The Māori Party were eventually booted out of Parliament in the 2017 election by voters who saw them as too cosy with National.
I didn't see that. We were too close to National. I think we can be close to everybody. I think it's important that we be seen as a workable party, no matter who we're working with or who we're against. This is politics.
This is a real hub now, eh, when you think about it?
Waititi marae?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing, eh?
It is. It is really amazing.
It's like a monument to all the people who got involved, the community.
That's dead right. And it's particularly like a monument for me because as I look down, I remember I was here. I did some of this tuku by one of my fingers. And I know who did the rest. And the carvers and what each carving means and why they're like this and why so many of this are theirs and not so many of someone else's and all those kind of things. I love this building and everything it stands for. I was here when I wasn't here and I was here as it grew. I remember the early meetings. Jerry Graham, Mavis Turo, Tuni Hakaraya and a few others, Tom Collins. And I was part of that feeling that what we're doing is so important. And we never lost track of it. And the ones that died, they died still being part of it. It was just amazing. You know, I'm talking about all those Ngāti Pro women that came and sat down with us, taught us how to weave and do tuku and stuff like that. I'm talking about the rows I had with John Taiapa. How come we got all these bloody te arawa ones, man? And we,
good man.
You know, all this kind of arguments and stuff. He says, who's the kawa here? You the kawa? No, but I represent all tribes. And how come you got so many of one tribe and few of another tribe? Go and visit other houses and you'll learn.
Stay in your lane, that's what he was saying.
Yeah. And yes, totally that.
Because you've been really pivotal in helping to rebuild the cultural kind of essence of our people. Now what do we need to focus on?
We have to love each other better. And I just hope marae can play a bigger role in keeping our intertribal, our tribal and personal and family culture alive and in place. I fear for that. You know, we don't realise what an important job this place does. You know, it's like the big coat that Dad puts on your bed on a cold night. It's like that.
In his final parliamentary speech, Tā Pita Sharples challenged the nation to disrupt the status quo as he imagined a new world for his mokopuna.
E moko. In 30 years, you can become the new co-leader of the Māori Party. You'll have more than 20 Māori caucus members, and deciding which ones should be in the House of Representatives, in Parliament, and which ones should be in the upper treaty Senate. which 30 years ago began with our constitutional review. Moko, in 30 years' time, you'll be dealing with a super ministry called whānau ora. In my time, they had separate ministries, social development, education, employment, and so on. Moko, in 30 years' time, you'll be dealing with these CEOs of Māori statutory boards all around the country. In my time, we had to have a hikoi, had to have lots of hui, a scrapping cabinet to get the first one up and running in Auckland. In 30 years' time, you'll be dealing with the Minister for the Rights of Indigenous Peoples negotiations. Yes, that's right. That's the one that replaced the Minister of Treaty Settlement negotiations after all the settlements were completed. In my time, when we got the declaration signed, they said it wouldn't mean anything. Oh, by the way, that's what they said about the treaty as well. Moko, in 30 years' time, you'll be dealing with all the whare oranga ake units that have been created. Back in my time, they were called prisons and didn't provide any rehabilitation programs. Oh yes, Moko, keep up with your English language, because in 30 years' time, Te Reo Māori will be the official language of New Zealand, spoken by them. And so, Moko Puna, grow strong. You have much to do. Tēnā tātou.